Ah, here we are yet again. Another Paris video. Another video of Paris being compared to the Nataruk because people were dissatisfied with the first one. I did have several valid complaints or criticism that I was very grateful for, and there were also some people that did not have brain cells. So we're going to go over the Nataruk and the Paris Prime Incarnon again. This time with different builds, and I will try to explain things more thoroughly. First off, disclaimer, I am not talking about mag relevance to Nataruk or Paris. I know I was on mag, that was stupid of me, because I wasn't trying to show mag with Nataruk last time. I was just on mag, that's who I happened to be playing last, and so that's who I was on in the video. But I am Equinox right now, that has no relevance, just the frame I'm on. Build doesn't matter, I'm not using anything that will affect damage because I will not be casting abilities. I do not have any companion on at the moment, and I will try to explain everything as thoroughly as I can. So, I don't know if I should go over this as if you haven't seen the first Paris video, or if you have, I guess I'll just try to be a little bit faster and go over. So, the whole gist of the first video was I was trying to say that Paris Incarnon is better than the Nataruk, and that it's underrated, and I think people should use it more. Yes, Nataruk does have the synergy with Mag and the bubble, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about daily use, just using it in general missions with any frame I want, just going in and it working. Not about broken synergies with Mag, okay? A lot of guns are broken with Mag. It is cool that Nataruk does that with Mag, but that's not what we're trying to compare. Anyways, let's get to the comparison. So, Slash, people were like, oh, you shouldn't be using Slash. Well, now we have corrosive build. Here you go. Also, people were mad about the fire rate. I was not comparing the fire rate to the Paris. When I was showing the Nataruk shoot stuff, I didn't even mention the fire rate, or at least I'm fairly certain I didn't. If you need fire rate, or at least if I need fire rate, I go Worm Prime, okay? Because then I can just slap on calculate redirection and reinforce bond, and that fixes the fire rate. See, now with that, it's not nearly as bad. Yes, it's not perfect. I know a lot of people like it faster. I personally don't find a problem on all of this fire rate. Now, without it, yeah, it's pretty terrible. But people were like, oh, you need to switch the mod out and put Vial Acceleration on. Yes, if that's what you want, that is a very good option. You can do that. And you could get rid of, say, Galvanized Scope to do that instead. However, you are giving up damage. Now, yeah, you lose 15% damage. That's not the big deal, but you are giving up a damaged mod, okay? And I think the main purpose of a bow is going to be to kill an enemy in one shot. I'd rather kill them in one shot that takes slightly longer to charge than be able to shoot a lot faster but take two shots, okay? It's going to take longer to kill the enemy that way. I'd rather just shoot them, let them die. Anyways, we will be showing off this build first. This is mostly the same build, but it's a general corrosive damage build. We got damage, galvanized aptitude because it's multiplicative, crit rate or crit chance, vital sense for crit damage. We got corrosive here. I don't feel like we need too much status chance, though. If you wanted, you could go the 660 electric mod. I don't have it right now. I gave it to my friend a little while ago, but that's what we'll be using right now. Galvanized scope because, more damage. If you wanted, you can go fire rate, but like I said, I don't think that's the best option, or at least not for me. Longbow sharp shot, of course, as well. Now, let us spawn the enemies. We will be showing it, and then we are going to show it in comparison. Again, fire rate. Ignore the fire rate. That is not relevant. Please, for the love of God, don't mention the fire rate. I know. I'm probably coming off as a slaughterhouse or a jackass, but the fire rate was not the point of the video, so ignore that here. We have to build up our stacks, obviously, as we'll get some of these piercing shots going on. It starts to do big damage. That was a slash process why I killed it afterwards, because it does have inherent slash on top of removal. It can slash. So as you can see, it does do big damage. And if it slashes inherently without having Hunter Moo, well, it can do even bigger damage. It's not bad. It's an amazing weapon, especially with mag. It's an amazing bow that does big damage, and it's very fun and satisfying to use. But I still think that the Paris is better. Now, I'm not going to be showing a gas build. Yes, that is an option, but that is viable on most weapons, a gas build, okay? Specifically weapons that do big chunks of damage and have at least okay status chance, all right? Paris and Nataruk are going to be relatively similar. If anything, I feel like Paris would be better because it also has infinite punch through while having a wider hitbox, so you can hit a bigger group of enemies, but I digress. The main point is going to be comparing raw damage now rather than the slash. Okay, now here's Paris. We will be putting Galvanized Scope on instead of the Riven. A big comparison again is Rivens for Paris are cheap as hell. They are also 5 dots. They are a 5 Riven disposition. Nataruk Rivens have a 1 disposition. They also cost significantly more platinum to buy. Nataruk also does not have Visage Ball, which gives a bunch of stats chance and also allows it to heal large amounts of HP. Not that that matters a huge amount, but it can be nice. Paris also inherently gets fire rate 80% if you have 1.2 sprint speed or higher, meaning I don't need to mod fire rate. Nataruk, if you want fire rate, you got to give up a mod slot, lowering your damage. There is no mod slot being given up here. I just get the extra fire rate because of Amalgam Serration. I also get projectile speed, which is nice. Okay, it's pretty good. Then, obviously, like I said, we will not be using that build. Oh, hey, I guess I replaced my corrosive build with the gas build, so I gotta make a corrosive build real quick. It'll be the exact same build that I was using on the Nataruk, okay? As you can see, the same stuff. And now we will be fine. What? How did I get knocked down when coming out of there? That was strange. Anyways, we will now be showing it in comparison. I mean, right off the bat, without any stacks, that killed in what, 4 arrows? I think without any stacks or buffs, the first kill with the Nataruk took like what, 5, 6 or more? I think it was 6. I could be wrong about that. Definitely tell me in the comments. I'll have to see when I go over to post the video. I'll have to count how many shots it was. But as we start to build up stacks, it will start to kill very good. This is not the Incarnon form. This is, boom, 2 arrows. We're almost able to kill. There we go, 1 arrow. It's going to depend on your status procs a lot of the time, but if we get enough corrosive status procs, or we get a slash, it can kill in 1 arrow. And this is the normal form, okay? Yes, Nataruk is still better than this right now, but this is it. We're not even in the Incarnon. So now we're going to have it in the Incarnon. We'll activate it. And then we will shoot the enemies. Build up our stacks again. Just have a bit slower of a charge rate because it's the Incarnon. Okay, I think we're at 4. Yeah, good. Alright, and we have that product. Okay. This is... It killed 3 of the 4, which is what most of the shots did on the groups with the Nataruk. I don't have all my crit stacks now from scope. So if you're unlucky, yes, it will do slightly less than Nataruk and almost one-shot them. But most of the time, it's going to be able to one-shot them. Like so, in the burn procs. It also, even though, again, fire rate is not what I'm talking about, but if you want to compare fire rate, again, the fire rate is inherently on this weapon. I don't have to mod fire rate. You have to give up a mod slot. Like, I would not get Galvanized Scope if I was using a fire rate instead, okay, on Nataruk. I can have fire rate and Galvanized Scope on Paris. Its hitbox is much wider than that. Nataruk's is quite large. This one is a big-ass pancake of a wave, okay? It's a lot easier to hit your shots with this thing. It's just so easy to hit. You also don't have to deal with the perfect shot mechanic. That's not a thing. You just use it. Super easy. And again, because ribbons are so cheap and there's such high dispositions, you can make this thing do some insane damage with some ribbons. Like, it gets pretty crazy. That is why I believe the Nataruk is a worse option than the Paris Incarnon for general use. So, I mean, if you disagree, that's totally fine, okay? Everyone's allowed their own opinion. And if you love the Nataruk, that's fine. It's still an incredible weapon. And I still love the Nataruk. I use it as well. Sometimes I feel like using the Nataruk over the Paris. Sometimes I use the Nataruk in Archon hunts just because I feel like it's cool to fit thematically. But I personally think that the Paris Incarnon is a better option than the Nataruk as a standalone weapon. Now, hopefully this will clear up some stuff with some things people thought or misconceptions or me not explaining something properly. I hope this makes things more clear. So, thanks for watching. If you disliked the video, well, then leave a dislike. If you like the video, then, you know, hitting like would be great, and subscribing if you want more low quality random Warframe videos. So, you know, that'd be great. Adios.